Happy day, YouTube fam. Elizabeth here. This is day 8 of the Let's Manifest Experience invitation. And today is really fun because I am a total word nerd and words have changed my life. Words have honestly healed me through reading, writing, the words that I say out loud, the words that I profess to the universe, and also the ones that I write in my diary and the ones that I say underneath my breath. And so let me know in the comments if you're also a word nerd, and I would like to know, do you have phrases or things that you say that you know are not for your highest good? Let me know in the comments. I would love to know because this is something that humans do on autopilot, and we don't even realize how detrimental they are to our ability to call in, co-create with the universe, our deepest desires. And so I would love to know in the comments, if you're watching Team Replay, what do you think these 3 phrases are? Or this one, it's actually one phrase. It's 3 different words. And I will just go ahead and spill the beans. The phrase that is totally botching your manifestation prowess is simply this: I should, but I can't. Okay, now let's break this down. Should, you have heard that comparison is the thief of joy, and it is. Anytime you are comparing yourself to anyone else, you're focusing on what's not working. You're focusing on lack. You're focusing on why you suck. And it instantly reduces your point of traction to crap. And so should is a word that is not efficacious in any way, shape, or form. It's basically poo-pooing whatever you're doing or not doing, and it doesn't serve you well. So that's the first part of the phrase. I should, but is a terrible word because anything that comes after the word but negates what happened before it. Let me tell you an example. I'm so grateful for the fact that the heat is working and that I have dry, warm, clean clothes. But I hate the fact that it's so damn cold all the time and then I have to run the heat all the time. It's like, what? Everything that you said about being grateful gets negated by the word but. And it's a very powerful word. Okay. So the last part of the phrase is can't. So here's the thing about words and your subconscious is that your subconscious, a couple things about your subconscious that are very powerful to know. Your subconscious, okay, let's give the iceberg example. I think visuals are very powerful. So this is your brain, right? This is your mind. This is your conscious mind up here. And let's say like my finger is the ocean or the water. And so what's below my finger is your subconscious. Your subconscious is where all of your limiting beliefs are stored. All of your programs are stored that have to do with like um, certain emotions, like let's say the emotion of shame. If you were shamed in art class when you were in first grade, and you get triggered anytime someone talks about your creativity or your ability to draw or whatever it is that's related to art, it it tugs on that feeling of shame and ties to the memory of being shamed in art class in first grade. And so that memory is stored in your subconscious mind down here. And so all of those programs, all of those limiting beliefs, that is always like what's driving your bus. It's what's propelling you forward. And unfortunately, it's usually doing it on a subconscious level, which means you have no awareness of it. Well, you cannot change or leverage anything you have no awareness of. And so any contraction with the word not in it, the subconscious just doesn't dial in, it doesn't register, it doesn't resonate. So anytime you say, I can't, I won't, I shouldn't, right? Like the subconscious doesn't understand that language at all. So that's one thing about the subconscious. The other thing about the subconscious is that your subconscious doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality. I'm going to say that again. Your subconscious doesn't know the difference between fantasy and reality, which is why affirmations are a very powerful tool, because if you're saying an I am statement and you actually believe in it, then you're like, I am healthy and well in every day in every way. I am healthy and well. And if you actually believe that, that is a very powerful statement, because your subconscious takes it at face value, because it's an I am statement. There aren't any contractions in there with the word not. And so um, the other incredible thing about your subconscious and your brain's ability to be what's called neuroplastic. So you have all these billions of neurons in your brain, and I'm sure you've heard the term neurons that fire together, wire together. I talked about this mental rehearsal thing in a couple episodes ago, or a couple days ago, about, and all athletes know this. Mental rehearsal is as powerful as actually physically going through the motions. Let's say you're practicing a free throw. If you mentally rehearse yourself, you're on the basketball court, you got your gym clothes on and you're sweaty or whatever, and you're practicing your free throw in your mind, you're mentally rehearsing every single step. That is as powerful as physically being on the basketball court and practicing your free throws a billion times. Because when you're mentally rehearsing that through visualization, all those neurons that get activated when you physically shoot the free throw are activated when you mentally rehearse it. So like, your mind is so powerful if you know how to work with it, right? And we all have these uh, limiting beliefs. I call it like looking under the hood in the subconscious. And the reason things like yoga, meditation, writing in a journal and a diary, saying affirmations are so extremely powerful is because you're actually, when you're doing those types of activities, the things that are housed in your subconscious are actually bubbling up to the surface for you to look at. And the only time something comes up to the surface to be explored is when it's safe, and when it's okay, and when you have the bandwidth to actually like look at that, which to me is like one of the most comforting things of all time. So that is the phrase. I should, but I can't. And so I want to teach you a little strategy around. So I would encourage you to remove the word should from your vernacular. It's useless. It's like guilt. It serves no purpose. It doesn't help you or anybody else. It's just dumb. So remove should from your vernacular. Remove but and replace it with the word are. For example, I need to practice yoga today, but I'm too tired. I need to practice yoga today, and instead I'm going to walk at the lake. It's very subtle and also very profound and powerful. And it takes practice to change your vernacular, especially the words that you use over and over on autopilot without even thinking about it. And so the other one, can't, cannot. Like, instead of saying, I can't afford it, I can't get my car fixed, I can't go to that event, I can't, whatever, say, I'm choosing to use my funds in this way at this time. And so it is. And you're being very conscious of the words you're saying, and it will change your life. I'm living proof. So a little strategery. It's called the R principle. R, A-R-E. Another very powerful word. It's kind of like a cousin of am, I am, two of the most powerful words in the English language. Because supposedly, whatever you proclaim after the two words, I am, is. I am that. Okay, so the R principle stands for awareness, reframe, and evidence. And this is to help you look at your vernacular. Like, what are you freaking saying either out loud to the universe, in your diary to yourself, or under your breath that is not serving you? So, awareness is always the first step of any type of behavior change, forever and always. If you have no awareness that you're saying things that aren't helping you, well, you can't change it. So, awareness just means like take a self audit, like just for the next 12 hours or the next 7 days, if you want to go gangbusters, start to have an awareness of what you're saying in conversations to other people. Also have a little fun exploring what people are saying to you. And then also, oh my gosh, especially like on social media, do a little audit on like what you're taking in. Like the words that you're taking in also have massive influence on your energy and your point of attraction. Um, yeah. So do a little self audit, and you already know in this instant, there are a handful of words that you say over and over that just suck, that you would be better off without. And so write them down and give yourself permission to like try something new. Like, what do you have to lose? Okay. And then the R is reframe. So if you know anything about affirmations, which if you're watching this, chances are you know a lot about affirmations. And in fact, you probably write them or practice them every day because you're smart like that. And you know that everything is about vibration and your point of attraction. And so when we catch ourselves and we like give ourselves copious amounts of grace when we say stupid things that aren't resonant with our greatest good or even about other people, this just doesn't apply to what we say about ourselves. You can take a phrase like, let's say, I never win anything. And you can reframe it to say, I am so lucky. I always win things. I'm a winner. Like, do you see how do you feel the difference? And dude, I never win anything. Nothing ever good happens in my life. I'm always on the short end of the stick. Like, wah, wah. Like, that makes me want to throw up in my mouth. Versus, dude, I'm such a badass. I'm a winner. I always win. I always have a good time on my way to winning. I expect to win. And so it is. Like, the energy behind both of those phrases is very profound. Negative over here, positive over here. Okay, so far we have awareness. Like, look at your copy, look at what you're saying, look at what you're writing, look at what you're reading, and see if there's any way that you could reframe the things that you're saying that are derogatory or just not helpful. And then the E stands for evidence. Like, look for evidence that, dude, you are divine, you are eternal, you were always supported, always and always, and so it is. Like, I didn't adapt or adopt this vernacular last night. This took me a while to look at the script that was playing in my head over and over and over. And honestly, your humans are wired. 80% of the thoughts that you're having today, you had yesterday. And a huge percentage of those is negative in nature. So the people in the world that are happy, they are making a conscious effort to choose joy. Like, in every instant, you have an opportunity to make a decision. Am I going to align with this or this? Okay. Like, and it's easy. It's really easy. Once you go down the path of fuckery, of woe is me, all the shit is on the fan, all the lemons are on the doorstep, it's easy to like stay in this negative Nelly vein. It is because that anything that has momentum, it's physics. Like anything that's in motion will continue to be in motion. So you literally have to be like, okay, hard stop, full stop. You know what? I'm just gonna pivot and I'll be like, you know what? This sucks. And now I'm pivoting. I'm going over here. I'm going over here. So that is a really powerful practice. And again, it is a choice. Like it is up to you. So stop blaming other people for your misery and stop expecting other people to provide joy because joy is a freaking inside job. It has to come from within. And so if you took 10 people and you exposed them to the same experience that was absolutely horrific, each of them would have a different experience based on their life experiences, their mindset, and what they choose to focus on. Yes, shitty things happen. And we get to decide. Like, to me, I'm always like, okay, what is the lesson? What is the blessing? This might not be what I signed up for or what I want. However, the more that I cling and push against what is showing up, then the more pissed off I'm going to become and the more momentum that I'm going to just snowball into more things to be pissed off about. So I hope that makes sense. I just a little personal story. When I was in high school, I have always been into like physical fitness. I mean, I've been running since before I came out the womb, and I love to exercise. It's in my DNA. Like I crave it, and it's just fun. It's not like rigid or an addictive thing. It's just my body craves it, and I love it and I enjoy it, which is awesome because not everybody has that. And I noticed, and I'm curious if this resonates with you at all, especially as it relates to social media. I noticed after I would read certain magazines that I would like start feeling crappy about myself. And like I was like, wait, what the hell just happened? Like I was fine, everything was great. And then I just started like questioning myself. And clearly these two want to come out. I was like, what is this? And so then I just decided, you know what? I'm not going to put that into my vortex. Why would I want to put something into my vortex that makes me feel like crap about myself? And I have definitely had that feeling on social media, like scrolling, and then it's like, the comparing and shoulding and all this and that. And it's like, no. So you have to be like, have your radar up and you have to be aware, because if you're not, what happens is it festers and it gets all this momentum. And then it's a little bit harder to like stop the freight train of momentum of the negative Nelly. And however it can be done. I also found myself like repeating this horrible statement about my body, like under my breath. And I was like, whoa, what is that? Who is that? Like, what? No. And so when I would hear myself saying it to myself, I would just be like, full stop. No, stop, be quiet. Do not say that ever again. And I was able to like, just stop myself. And, you know, we're not taught about this thing called awareness. And again, it's so much easier just to keep your head in the sand and just be like, la, 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 la. Like, I know it's just too much noise. However, that is not how you were wired. You are wired for bliss. You are wired for joy. You are wired for ecstatic pleasure, jubilation, delight, awe, wonder. So if you're not experiencing that, start playing around with some things that bring you joy, delight, wonder. Like this is the simplest thing in the freaking world. It's water and some glitter. And it's just magical. You just look at it. It like pulls you in. Make some mud pies. I don't know. Running in the rain to me is ecstatic joy no matter what. It just is. So if you're feeling on the down low and you're not feeling the awe and the wonder and the delight, just allow yourself to do an audit. What are you saying to yourself? And here's like the next step to this strategy. Would you ever, ever utter those same words that you say under your breath about yourself to your best friend? Oh, hell no. And you sure as hell wouldn't say it to like the 4-year-old version of yourself or your child. Never in a million years. So just think about that. So if you're not going to do it for yourself as a grown ass adult, do it for your 4-year-old self because that's what he or she deserves. Right? Okay. So speaking of feelings and emotions, so the two cards are I am creative and I feel to heal. I used to be that girl that would push scary emotions as far away as possible because that was too scary. Like what if I like can't come back from feeling like that? And now I know, thanks to Brené Brown, love her work, is that the way we feel, our emotions are our bat line to whether we are in sync with our inner beings, our higher selves, our sourced selves or not. And again, I've been in both realms, and the sourced realm is way more fun. It's way more tapped in. That is where all the magic and the manifestations happen. So that's where I want to hang out. And I would invite you to come because you don't have to do struggle. You don't have to do hard. You don't have to do woe is me. You just don't. And let me tell you, once you release all of that effort and you allow yourself to let it go, you will have more energy than you can shake a stick at. So that you can go run in the rain and dance and have dance parties and karaoke parties and all the things. Okay. I feel to heal. It is safe for me to tune in to my feelings. They are the GPS to my soul. So here's what I have to ask you. Can you allow yourself the opportunity to feel emotion in its pure form without the old stories attached to it and then let it go? Here's what's crazy about emotion. I learned this. This is Joe Dispenza teaches this. I learned this in yoga teacher training. Did you know that an emotion, a raw emotion, only lasts 6 to 90 seconds? What? But is that what we do as humans? Oh no. We have a biochemical reaction, which is like I'm often talking about shame. So that's one that comes up for me. Like that literally has a biochemical cocktail. When I when I think a certain thought or I have a certain memory that brings up shame, like talking about that getting shamed in first grade art class or whatever, like that emotion has a biochemical cocktail, and when you either recall the memory and that literally triggers the cocktail to be released in the body. The body is so amazing, isn't it? And so then this memory trickles back into the memory. So instead of just having the feeling of embarrassment or the emotion of embarrassment for 6 to 9 seconds, what do we do? Like we fester because we think about the memory and how traumatic it was and all this and this and this. And it's like, oh my God. And it's like it's happening right now. It happened like, 50 years ago. So we can allow ourselves to feel emotion in its pure form and then let it go. I pinky swear promise. I've learned to do it. And that's why I love yoga nidra so much. It allows you to release and heal the things that are programmed in your subconscious that you probably don't even know are there, and they are wrecking so many things in your life. It's monumental. I do have a really powerful yoga nidra practice here on YouTube. It's called Manifest Perfect Peace. It is divine. You might want to check it out. Okay. Also, I'm on Insight Timer if you want to check that out. I'll put the link in the discussion, whatever it's called, comments. Okay. I am creative. Your creative power expands infinitely when you are tapped into source. How are you wielding your creative juices today? How are you playing with your creativity? And it doesn't have to be art per se. It could be singing, it could be writing, it could be dancing, it could be mentoring somebody else. It could be like, dude, you're the one that gets to decide. So that's the reading from the Divine AF card deck today. Today is day number 8, lucky number 8, and I trust that this finds you exactly in the sweet spot in the quantum where these words will be supportive and uplifting. And I'm excited to hear from you about what comes of this awareness of the power of your words. All right. See you next time.